So Charmander, what typing are you gonna be? Well, when I grow up, I'm gonna transcend past the level of a normal Charizard and gain the Dragon typing. And when I do this, I will become one with my trainer and defeat Mewtwo to save the world, because that is my destiny, and nothing you can say can stop me. That sounds oddly specific and unrealistic. Get over yourself, weirdo. What about you, mustache face? Well, you see, I'm gonna become something you've never seen before. Something that's greater than becoming a dragon type. I'm gonna become a double normal type, which will make me double immune to ghosts. And when double immune to ghosts is a factor in a battle, you are double likely to win. And what's cool about being a double normal type is that I have an ability that makes me even more double immune to ghost types. Do you see where I'm—
Shut up.
That hurts. That hurts like double the amount. What is going on, guys? This is Dobbs here, bringing you another Pokemon video. And with the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield, I thought it'd be fun to do a top 10 of the best new type combinations for the game. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started.
Number 10.
Now, I want to give credit to Cody TV on Twitter for this very compelling theory for the secondary typings for the starter Pokemon. Starting with the grass-type starter Pokemon known as Grookey for number 10. As you can see in the revealed trailer, Grookey smacks on a rock 3 times with a stick and runs away because I guess that's what monkeys do. But this could imply that he might be a grass-rock type starter Pokemon, making him the first grass-rock type Pokemon to ever exist. Just kidding, because this abomination exists. You guys don't even know, I hate Lileep. I just hate this Pokemon. I've faced it so many times in a Nuzlocke, and every time it just bodies me, and I just let it die, please. Anyways, if Grookey's final evolution turns out to be a grass rock type, it would be weak to fighting, ice, bug, and steel. And like Lileep, you would expect this Pokemon to be a defensive mon, but I have a feeling it's gonna be more of an offensive Pokemon, and that stick on his head is gonna turn into like a rock bat, which would make sense because it seems that these starter Pokemon have some kind of a baseball theme to them, with Grookey being the baseball batter. But this is all speculation, so let's move on to number 9.
Number 9.
Now, as you probably noticed, the first 3 in this top 10 are gonna cover the starter Pokemon. So, moving on to Scorbunny, as you probably noticed in the Pokemon Sword and Shield reveal trailer, Scorbunny is seen running up a factory with his feet making a cling clang type of noise, which might hint that Scorbunny might become a Fire Steel type Pokemon, and that his feet might become a steel weapon of some sort. Now, this type combination would make Scorbunny the first ever non-legendary Fire Steel type Pokemon, making it only weak to fighting, water, and ground. And I could totally see Scorbunny as a speedy offensive Pokemon, a Pokemon with a not so high attack stat but has the ability to throw punches with a priority. And it would make sense, right, with the baseball starter theme. Mookie being the batter with a high attack stat, Scorbunny being the runner with a high speed stat, and that just leaves Sobol, and we'll get to that in number 8. But yeah, I wasn't surprised the fire starter turned out to be a rabbit, because if you look at the Chinese zodiac, we have had a fire starter for every single animal on that calendar. So in the future, expect to see a sheep, snake, horse, and an ox fire starter. And I'm not gonna lie, I am totally excited to see a fire electric starter Pokemon that's a sheep. That would be awesome.
Number 8.
Now, the reason why I put Sobol over the other 2 starter Pokemon is because, well, Sobol will be my Generation 8 starter Pokemon. And it's kind of funny because up until Generation 6, I was always a fire starter type of guy. But for these past 3 generations, I've been on Team Water type. Not to mention that Popul's evolution line from last generation is probably my favorite starter Pokemon to date. But anyways, continuing on Cody TV's theory, when you see Sobol in the Pokemon Sword and Shield reveal trailer, it appears to be translucent when it comes out of the water, which may hint that Sobol will become a water ghost type Pokemon. And if you're a long-time subscriber, you probably remember back in my Pokemon Sun and Moon starter speculation video, I wanted a water ghost type starter. So that is the main reason why I'm going to choose Sobol for my Sword and Shield starter Pokemon. However, it may just turn out to be an ability, like an invisible ability or something. But in the case that it does become a water ghost type, it will be weak to dark, electric, grass, and ghost while being immune to normal and fighting. And fun fact, Frillish wasn't originally going to be a water ghost type Pokemon. It was only given the ghost type last second to give diversity to the Pokemon in Generation 5. So Sobble might be quote unquote the first official water ghost type Pokemon. And as for the baseball theme for the starters, Sobble would represent the catcher that's wearing the armor, which I think will make it a very bulky Pokemon. So there you have it, Grookey the batter, Scorbunny the runner, and Sobble the catcher.
Number 7.
Now that we've gone over the speculation for the type combination for the starter Pokemon, I'm now going to go over 4 type combinations that we've never seen before in the history of Pokemon. So, starting for number 7, we have Electric Dark type. Now, I'm not gonna front, for the longest time, I thought Luxray was an electric dark type Pokemon. I mean, because it looks like a menacing Pokemon and it learns 2 dark type moves. I swear, Game Freak must have had Luxray as a dark type originally and then took it out last second. Because how could he look so menacing and evil and not be a dark type? I guess the only explanation is that Game Freak didn't think Luxray was meant to be an evil Pokemon, because in Japan, the dark type is actually the evil type, which explains why a lot of villainous teams in Pokemon have dark type Pokemon. You never know, maybe in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the villainous team will have an electric dark type Pokemon. If it was up to me, I would make a battery type of a Pokemon that has a tendency to steal power, which would give it the dark typing. All I'm trying to say is that I want to see an electric dark type in the Pokemon games at some point in the future. And it's not like it's going to be overpowered or anything, because the weakness would be fighting ground, bug, and fairy, which is pretty balanced in my opinion. If you're in the same boat with me, you guys should definitely send in fan art to my Twitter at Ethan Dobbs. I would love to see y'all's Pokemon concepts.
Number 6.
Now this next type combination is something I recently fell in love with, and even though it's an awesome type combination, it doesn't really make that much sense. But hey, this is a speculation video, so it doesn't really matter, so I could dream. So for number 6, I chose the Fairy Fighting type. Now the reason why I fell in love with this type combination is because of Pokemon Uranium. In that fan-made game, there is a Pokemon called the Whittletinger, which is basically a giant rabbit that's a fairy fighting type. And let me tell you, it is pretty deadly to say the least. So if Game Freak did make a fairy fighting type Pokemon, it would be weak to poison, flying, psychic, steel, and fairy, which is a lot of weaknesses, and I would hope its stats and move pool make up for it. Like, could you imagine a fairy fighting type Pokemon with a stab close combat and a stab play rough? That would be deadly. Like, you would not be around that person Pokemon thing. It would look at you and you would just die immediately. Unless you're a poison type, which resists both of those typings. So I guess you're safe for now, Weezing. You freaking thing. But yeah, if it was up to me, I wouldn't just make a new Pokemon, I would just import Midbuzz for the Mario and Luigi series. I mean, it looks like a fairy fighting Pokemon to me. I'll call him like Hogmon. Hogmon, yeah.
Number 5.
Now this type combination is one that I still can't believe that hasn't made it to the Pokemon games, because it's just so perfect. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. So with that said, I chose the normal type. It's double immune to Ghost. Just kidding, but in all seriousness, I chose the Bug and Dragon type. Now, I'm just gonna say this, there is literally an insect called the Dragonfly, and if you didn't know, the origin of Pokemon started with Satoshi Tajiri's bug collecting hobby, and you would think a Dragonfly would have been one of the most prominent bugs that he could have collected. Therefore, a perfect opportunity to make a Bug and Dragon type Pokemon. Like what are they waiting for? There are so many good possibilities of making this Pokemon, like I would draw one right now. You know what? I'm gonna do just that. Alright guys, so I'm gonna draw this Bug Dragon type Pokemon on screen live on Paint. What is going on, guys? Let's do this. Alright, so first I'm gonna start with the pen tool. No, we're gonna go with a brush actually. A brush, a fine tip brush. That is perfect. We're gonna make the size pretty thick, and it's gonna be the face of our Bug Dragon type Pokemon. You're gonna have like crazy awesome eyes, like wow. Boom. Oh, he's looking like an ant. You know what? I'm gonna give him some teeth. Teeth. Boom. And he's gonna have like these antennas, right? He's gonna have antennas so he can sense the fear of his Pokemon. And then he's gonna, oh wait, he needs a neck. He needs a neck. There we go. There we go. And he's gonna like claws, because he is a dragon type after all. And we're gonna give tiny legs. Tiny legs, like multiple legs though, multiple legs. And this arm's kind of more tiny than the other one. And that's basically it. Make him orange, and make his head purple, and make this yellow. That yellow. And red eyes, of course, and red teeth because he's drinking blood. And there we go, our bug dragon type Pokemon. Hope you guys enjoyed this little segment. And back to the video. Yeah, I just did that. I am a huge fan of the bug and dragon type combination. I want it to happen, especially with my creation. But yeah, if they did make a bug dragon type Pokemon, it would be weak to ice, flying, rock, dragon, and fairy, which is a lot of weaknesses. So they should definitely make it like a mythical Pokemon and give it this design. That would be awesome.
Number 4.
Now, this is going to be the last type combination I cover because the next 3 things will be a little different. So with that said, for number 4, I chose the Rock Ghost type combination. Now, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I basically want a ghost Pokemon with floating rocks for its body, because that just sounds so elemental, and I love like that kind of stuff. Like, could you imagine this giant ghost just chunking rocks at you and then yanking them back with his invincible limbs? Like, that just sounds like a legendary concept. One of you guys should definitely send in fan art for that Pokemon, because I would love to see it. So if they were to make a rock ghost type Pokemon, it would be weak to water, grass, ground, ghost, dark, and steel, while being immune to normal and fighting, which is a lot of weaknesses. So maybe this Pokemon can have an ability that makes it more tankier. Maybe levitate or something new. Something definitely to do with rocks. Maybe like Rock Swallow, where it just uses a rock to defend itself for a turn. And as for a signature move, I would make it Rock Storm, where a bunch of rocks just come from the sky and it destroys everything. To put it simply, I really want to see a rock ghost type Pokemon that uses its rocks a lot. Rocks.
Number 3.
Now, for number 3, this might be a spoiler for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but you had to take Pokemon Leaks with a grain of salt because it could just literally be a person just writing on 4chan saying, hey, Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to have a wood type, and this wood type is going to be the best typing in the game because of Hashirama from Naruto. But I'm not going to lie, that actually sounds awesome. I would love to have a wood typing in Pokemon, but that's a topic for another video. So anyways, getting back to this top 10, for number 3, I'm going to go over the armor leaks and the legendaries we might see in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, first off, this leak says the legendary Pokemon are going to be a metal snake and a wooden horse. And right off the bat, the metal snake sounds like it's going to be a poison steel type, which is, as of now, an unused type combination. And as for the wooden horse, its typing could be a rock grass type? I'm not really sure. But the interesting part about this leak is the armored evolutions. According to this leaker, Pokemon like Charizard, Mewtwo, and Flygon can evolve into an armored version using Melton. And my first thought is, of course they would use Charizard and Mewtwo. They each got 2 Mega Evolutions, and now they're probably going to get the armored evolutions. But regardless, I still think it's a really cool concept, and it makes a lot of sense with Melton. Because in the Pokemon Go research update, Professor Willow says that Melton has a tendency of melting and absorbing metal around it. So if these Pokemon hold a metal item like a metal coat or something, Melton might fuse with them, making the armored version. And I'm not gonna lie, if this leak turns out to be true, I will love having the armored Mewtwo from the first Pokemon movie. And on top of that, we will see type combinations like Fire Steel, Dragon Steel, Normal Steel, and Poison Steel. But it's all speculation.
Number 2.
Now for number 2, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because this idea is pretty straightforward. So for number 2, I chose a dual typing Eeveelution. Now hear me out, Game Freak is all about the surprise factor, and after all of these years of speculating which type is going to be next for the Eeveelution line, I feel like none of us would expect to see a dual typing Eeveelution to come. And even though this is like a shot in the dark to see if it actually happens, which in my opinion I feel like is very slim, if it did happen, I feel like they wouldn't make a new evolution, but instead build off the current Eeveelutions we have today. We had Alolan forms in the Alola region where Pokemon were just different typings. But what if in the Galar region, regular Pokemon evolve into a new stage based on their surroundings? It would definitely bring a twist to the Alolan concept and would make Pokemon Sword and Shield feel like a more fresh game. And with Eevee having a very loose DNA string, I could totally see its evolutions evolving once more based on their surroundings. It's definitely a wild card idea, but you never know, it just might happen. And I gotta give credit to In Progress Pokemon for the idea because he makes these kind of Eevee evolutions all the time. So be sure to check him out down below in the description.
Number 1.
Now guys, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the 20th anniversary for Pokemon Gold and Silver is this year in November. And guess what game is coming out around that time? Pokemon Sword and Shield. So with that said, the likeness of a Gen 2 shoutout in Pokemon Sword and Shield is extremely high, which could mean new Mega Evolutions, Galarian forms, or Armored Evolutions for the Gen 2 Pokemon. And since Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr are notoriously known for being the Monotype starter Pokemon, I feel like they would be the perfect Pokemon to give one of these forms to. So for number 1, I'm gonna go over the type combinations and do just that. So first off, Armored Evolutions, that's easy, they would just all adopt a Steel typing, and most likely get a stronger ability. But we still don't know if Armored Evolutions is going to be a thing, so this might miss the mark completely. For Mega Forms, I would love seeing Meganium as a Grass Fairy type because that just fits its whole persona. For Typhlosion, I can definitely see it as a Fire Rock type because it's the Volcano Pokemon after all. And finally, Feraligatr, I could totally see this Pokemon becoming a Water Dragon type because that would just be epic, and that type combination is only used by a legendary Pokemon, which is Palkia. And as for the Galarian forms, I literally have no idea. Maybe they'll just swap their typings around, like Meganium being the Fire type, Typhlosion being the Water type, and Feraligatr being the Grass type. But that would just be super trippy. But regardless, I'm still excited to see what they might do with the Gen 2 Pokemon because that's my favorite generation after all. And there you go, the top 10 new type combinations we might see in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This one took a while to make because I'm still finishing up college. So if you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you want to get notifications for the channel and all, be sure to hit that bell, because that bell does something. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at EthanDawes because Twitter is cool and I tweet, and you should follow my tweets. And subscribe to my gaming channel where I upload about 4 times a week. And also, big shout out to Justin for this top 10 idea. If you guys have any ideas for a top 10 for me to do, feel free to let me know down below in the comments or tweet me at EthanDawes. And finally, for the question of the day, what new type combination would you like to see in Pokemon Sword and Shield? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments because I would love to see the ideas that you guys come up with. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!